Back with Nolan, back with Riley. Buffalo Sabres rant to just fired up, fresh off the big loss to the Montreal Canadiens. Riley, I might throw an edit in here where I'm including your prediction for a Sabres win over Montreal. But I mean, how much does it fire you up to see the comments of Terry Pegula, to see fans? I know fans were getting at you a little bit in the comments on just calling them out a little bit. Is this beyond the fan base now where, I mean, here's the thing. I'll see things online now of campaigns and people wanting to get some autograph or signatures from fans to get Pegula out. But then are you also worried that Pegula out means no more Buffalo in the NHL? Like there's so many layers here, Riley. I know I'm gonna give it to you to kind of to rant it out, but I mean there's just so many conversations with fans right now. Where do you stand?
Yeah, there's so many layers. I'd like to take back my stance a little bit. I think I was a little bit too positive in the last couple videos. I know I said that it's a lot of it is on the fans. I'll call myself out. I said bet Sabres money line, bet Sabres money line. Did not work well at all. I had a glimmer of hope. I'm like, we go to Montreal, we're gonna turn this around. We needed 4 wins in a row going into that Montreal game to get back to 500. In the East at 500, it's anybody's ball game in the East right now. So I was feeling good. That game destroyed me. I'll be honest. I was like, you know what? Maybe this is the chance. We turned it around. I knew blew 2-0 lead to the Leafs. I'm like, okay, Montreal, it's gonna turn around. We have the feeling. And then they just absolutely get waxed in the Bell Center. Like absolutely waxed. And all these fans are saying, oh, like Terry Pegula says it's in the room. That's a joke, by the way. How do you go to a group that's lost 10 in a row and say the answer is here in this room? Um, let's just face it right now. Let's just get the facts out of the way. Terry Pegula is going nowhere. There's nothing we can do about it. He's not going to sell the team. We whether or not we like it, we have to trust Terry and believe in Terry. And there's no point in like I saw a petition today, like you mentioned. I think it was up for 2 or 3 hours at the point, and it had like 60 signatures. Like this fan base is just so depleted, so like just out of it. They don't even care anymore that we're not even going to sign signatures to get this guy out. We just give this guy no attention. This upcoming game against the Leafs in Buffalo, I wouldn't be surprised if it was legit 95% Leafs fans. In the past, 60%, 70%, but
Are we
they're
going?
loud. I don't want it, dude. I don't even want to go. I don't even want to go. And let's just face it, Pagula's going nowhere. Like these games have been embarrassing for years. Tomorrow, like, and I felt bad for the players. Tomorrow, I don't feel bad. Like, it's it's gotta happen. Show like that's kind of what they deserve at this point. As you've known, I've been the most positive defender of the Sabres of Kevyn Adams. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, it is hard to make trade. It's not that hard to make trades. Capo Caco, Will Borgen, these guys are getting traded all the time. I mean, Alexander Carrier, who I think the Sabres wanted in the offseason before he got an extension signed and stuff, goes for Justin Barron, and we can't even like compete with that offer. Like Justin Barron is anyway. Okay, I'm getting off topic. I had notes after the Montreal game. I'm gonna go over them. These are some of my key topics. Okay, so going after the Leafs game, Lindy Ruff said this is the toughest solve he's been around. I think he's coached 1,800 games or something like that. 1,800 games, and this is the toughest solve he's been around. Let's let's figure this out. All right, Lindy is hired in the off season. He is coming. It's like 20 games in, 30 games in. He's saying this is the toughest solve he's been around. He wasn't allowed to bring in any assistant coaches. Get rid of the assistant coaches. Let Lindy bring guys in that have solved problems with him in the past, that he trusts, that he knows their opinions, he respects their opinions. We got these assistant coaches who are just, we didn't even fire an assistant coach last year. Like, how is that possible? How do we have 3 losing seasons in a row? We keep everybody. Don Granato's the scapegoat, and we still have the guy who ran the power play last year is up. He's the eye in the sky this year. We got Seth Appert, who I had high hopes for. He's in over his head. I don't want to get rid of him, but we need to take him off of controlling the power play because our power play is terrible. I don't even like the defense coach, how does he still have a job? He's has to teach these young defensemen who clearly aren't getting it. Get these guys out of there. Give Lindy a support system that is actually going to help because we know we're not going to move players. We're not going to make any big trades. This is something that you can do today. You know how many good coaches are sitting at home on the couch right now or coaching their kids or like doing whatever? There's so many good coaches that Lindy knows that he could bring in tomorrow at the snap of a finger, and we're still employing these schmucks. It's unbelievable. Like, I understand, like, I know in your Rant video you talked about bringing guys like Rant in the offseason. We have to give Rant a reason to be here. Like Kevyn Adams said, there's no palm trees, there's high taxes, and there's a terrible team on the ice. And why would Mikko Rantanen, no matter how much money we gave him, want to
15
come to
million.
this tire fire? 15 million. Yeah. Uh, we have to give him a reason to come here. And right now, there is no reason. We need to show that this is not okay. Hey, Mikko, if you're looking at our team, this is not what it's going to be like next year. This type of culture, atmosphere, performance is not okay. We're firing our entire coaching staff except for Lindy Ruff. We're bringing in all new guys. This is guys that Lindy knows. That's just like something that you can, that's not the be all end all answer of how to fix this, but that's something that you can do in an 11 game losing streak to turn something around to get it's an easy thing to do. I know that they're all friends in there, but we need to break something up. We need to be bold. Like you said, we have to do something. I have so many notes here that I'm trying to get through them. Obviously, that's not going to solve all the problems, as I said. That's just something you can do right now. We need to go in there, get Lindy's brain trust. I'm trusting Lindy a lot in this. And what do we need? Because clearly this is not working. There's guys on waivers all the time. Tyler Johnson been terrible this year, but he's played like 5 games or something. Maybe you give him a shot. I don't know. There's guys that are out there. Wahlstrom just got claimed. How do you not put a claim in on Wahlstrom so we can get Coolidge back down in the minors and you know let him win? Um, is there any comment that you guys have here as I collect my thoughts and look for more here?
No one, that's you.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's definitely even as a Leafs fan, it's disappointing to see how poorly Buffalo's doing. I just want to see them like actually be competitive. 'Cause how fun would it be to see like a Leafs and Sabres playoff matchup? That'd be unreal. Just the rivalry building up there would be insane. But yeah, I guess I'm just wondering, right? Like, what do you think the Sabres should do? Like, you guys rebuild again or try to
Um,
trade for older players? What do you think?
that actually teed me up perfectly for my next notes. We have
Mm.
the most stacked cupboard in the NHL. Maybe not number one, but top five prospect
Top
base
five
in the
easily.
NHL. Easily. We have prospects out the wazoo, and I am such a big prospect guy. I love prospects. I love having them, but we need to get rid of them. We need to empty the cupboard, bring guys in. As you see in places like Vancouver and Nashville, there's turmoil all over the NHL. We need to bring in somebody to help. There's no point in having Oslin, Rosie, and Kulich, Wahlberg, Hellenius. Like, where are these guys going to play? There's 6 spots in the top six. Those guys are not bottom six guys. Where are they going to play? Paterka's here forever. Quinn's here forever. Cousins, contract wise,
Should they be though?
Cousins is here forever. They're not in my issues. I have some issues. So for the roster, what I would do, Yoki Haru has to go. We need to bring in somebody competitive that has some fire, some grit to play next to Power to help him out. Because right now he's just getting dummied in the defensive zone. And there's, like it or not, that's Owen Power is going to be a fixture here. He's going to be somebody that we rely on for years to come. Let's not let him get beat around when he's
So it
21,
truly is
22 years
time for
old.
Vinny Desharnais.
It could be. Kulich. I love Kulich or Kulik. I love him, but he's got to go back to Rochester. Not no fault of his own. I think he's actually played pretty well, but there's no reason he should be on our third line right now. We need to bring in a guy. Yeah, bring in a guy. So if you look at the D pairings, with Dahlin back tomorrow. It'll be Dahlin, Byram, Power, and somebody, and Samuelson and Clifton. That's a winning D pair. Like those are winning D pairings. If you have a fixture next to Power, I think Will Borgen would have been a great fit next to Power. He's going to New York, and yeah, that is like these two things that I've mentioned with the coaching assistants and Yoki Haru. There is no reason that couldn't be done yesterday on the day off or today on the day off. No reason. Like Yoki Haru's 1 year, $3 million. Send him somewhere. Put him on unconditional waivers. Do something. Like this is unbelievable that Kevyn Adams and Lindy Ruff and Terry Pegula can watch. I'm not putting it all on Yoki Haru, but watch him on the ice and be like, yeah, that's a guy that's gonna help us win games. Like I said, I've been super patient even up until yesterday. I've been the most patient guy. I was the last fan to still believe. Yeah, like I wrote down that I called out the Sabres money line, but I'm officially done. So whenever I'm done, I think you know that the rest of the fan base is probably done. I'm the most optimistic guy ever. I'm done. The entire arena is going to be filled with Leafs fans. This is what I have written down. Um, yeah. Okay. So I don't know if I mentioned this the other day. I honestly believe that if you pick this team up and move them to Hamilton or pick them up and move them to Quebec City, I think, and under different ownership, I think right away this is a playoff contention team on paper, on the ice in a different city with a different fan base, with a different owner, same head coach. I believe this is a playoff team. I don't know what you guys have to think about that while I collect more of my thoughts here, but do you think that's a reasonable thing? You look at Arizona going to Utah, all of a sudden they go from a dumpster fire to, hey, this team's actually kind of competitive. You look at they beat the Canucks in overtime last night, and they look pretty damn good. Like, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes a difference, but honestly, Riley, like I truly think it's the timing thing, and also I think with Buffalo, and this is just where it's very proven on the Dalian situation. Like you can't have a team where you're relying on one, two, three guys to basically hold you afloat. So you lose Dalian and things just go sideways. Like I'm more on the vibe of like I think you just focus on the team rather than I know the city and the location, all these conversations. I'm honestly I was kind of just neutral because I don't have like stake in the game and I don't really have like the fan passion behind me. But to me, I think the location aspect is kind of an excuse. Like I
Not
think
location, not location. I'm not saying
no.
Buffalo.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying more so from Kevyn Adams. I'm just saying like I understand all the palm trees and all that stuff. I'm just talking about specifically the roster and how it's built. I think I go back to how I ripped him a new one for the Ryan McLeod value. I keep going back to that, but at the same time, I am truly on the vibe of if you were to go in that direction to commit. Didn't I say that at the time, Riley? I don't know if you caught my video, and I think we talked about it. But I had said if you were going to make a trade like that, you truly need to commit. Like it can't be Savoy for Ryan McLeod, and then you go, all right, done for business.
Oh
I'm not going to
yeah.
do anything else. Like I hate the teams that do the middle pack kind of things. If you do that trade, you need to commit. So if it's Savoy gone for Ryan McLeod, it should be Oslin, it should be Rosine, it should be at least two or three of those guys to get a legitimate top four right shot defenseman next to Owen Power. It should be you get a veteran stud to play next to Tage and Tuck. Like it should be you consistently get aggressive with those acquisitions. And unfortunately, now we're talking about Dylan Cousins being traded to maybe a team like Nashville for what? Picks and prospects? I don't know.
I don't
I
want
think
to. I don't
that's
even want to.
I think that's where I'm at. Commit to a
I know.
direction.
I know exactly what you mean because I've been a fan of the Buffalo Sabres and I've also been a fan of the Blue Jays, and they are in the exact same situation. They're bringing in like they're just half-assing every single offseason, and look at what happened to them last year. They're supposed to be a playoff team easily, and they just stunk it up. I just want to. So I have a couple more things. You look at the part of the reason why I said what I said is the negativity in Buffalo is unbelievable. You look at Rob Ray, you can just hear him. He's fed up. He does not want to be there. You look at Marty Biron and Duffer, they admitted they're watching the Bills game during the broadcast. They're not even like they're paid to be at the Sabres game and watch them. They're sitting there watching the Bills game.
Crazy.
Like it's not the broadcasters are so negative. Everybody's so negative. Like they're not negative. Dan Dunleavy, I love them. Robert Ray, you can just hear in their voices. They're just like, what is going on? You see a defensive zone turnover, and they're like, oh, like it's I've never seen, and they're just fed up. There's so much. Okay, what I want to say about people say like, oh, the small scouting staff killed us. I don't think the small scouting staff killed us. Um, you look at not spending to the cap. Did that kill us? I don't think that exactly killed us. Do you think bringing in a guy from a hockey academy killed us as our GM? I don't think that killed us. But when you build it all, put it all together, we're half-assing the scouting staff. We're half-assing what we're spending. We're half-assing who we're getting for our GM. We're half-assing the lights that we're putting up in the arena. We're zip tying like wristbands to the railings. Like what is going on? This team, Terry Pegula from top to bottom is half-assing everything. And when I thought about the Bills argument the other day. Look at what did anybody in their right mind want no dome on the new stadium? No, he's half-assing the new stadium even, and it's like you can't even use the Bills. He got lucky with the Bills. He got lucky that he drafted Josh Allen, and they still can't win anything. Like it's unbelievable. They have the most talented quarterback. He's taking advantage of diehard fans to shovel the stadium, and he can't even give them free tickets or hot meals. That's for the Bills. Like this team is raking him in millions and millions of dollars, and he can't even like go all in on that. And that's a successful team. Like he's just not a good owner at all. And if you look at this is part of why I say if you took the team and moved it, look at who we've had here. We've had Phil Housley, who's assistant coach on the Rangers. They're not doing well this year, but they've made the playoffs the last couple of years. Jason Botterill was with the Kraken from the start, and they started great, and they're in contention. They're making trades. They're making moves. You look at Lindy Ruff. He's made the playoffs multiple years. You look at Dan Bilesma. He won a cup with Pittsburgh. Jason Botterill also won a cup with Pittsburgh. Jack Eichel, Sam Reinhart, Ryan O'Reilly, Brandon Montour. The list goes on and on. These are all guys, coaches, players that all could not even sniff a win, sniff playoffs in Buffalo. Every single one, including coaching staff and general managers, can go to other teams and win. Why is that? How does that happen? How does we have the coaches that know how to win here. We have the players that can show they can win. And when you put it in Buffalo, nobody's winning. And it's just so mind-boggling. And it comes down to like one guy. Terry Pegula has been here the whole time. Nobody can win with him. And like I said off the top, we got to live with that because he's not going anywhere. But how is that humanly possible that everybody can come here that had one before and one after, and this part in the middle, they just can't win? It makes no sense. What is going on here that's different than everywhere else? Like, I don't get it. Is it half-assing everything? It must be, because I got no other reason for it. Do you guys know what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know if you're gonna go Nolan, but yeah, honestly, to me, Riley, it does start from the ownership, and I think when you're talking about the Bills, I've said that a few times. Like, if you do look at the Bills, like how they're built, I mean, and I joke, I'm a Seahawks fan, so like I joke about this, but it's like imagine swapping Josh Allen and Geno Smith, Riley. Like, imagine putting Geno
Worst
Smith on
team
the
in the league.
Bills. I think the Bills are literally in the basement. Like, I'm not even
Worst team in the
joking.
league.
And I think the Seahawks are winning the Super Bowl if they have Josh Allen. So, again, I think it is a little bit of like Sabres fans or Bills fans feel like as grateful as they do for Josh Allen, but it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable, and that's what I just said with the Rasmus Dahlin conversation. Obviously, the Sabres hockey's a much different sport, and the Sabres have other pieces. But what happens if you lose Tage Thompson and Rasmus Dahlin? are you winning a game ever again?
It's so I don't even know what to say to that. Obviously not. Okay, so I came up with this comparison the other night, and this is what I think is like the best comparison. I think the Buffalo Sabres are legitimately the Oakland Athletics of the NHL without an analytical advantage at all over any other team. You look at the Oakland Athletics, they came up, they revolutionized the way we look at players, and they had an analytical advantage, which allowed them to spend way less on everything. You look at their stadium was crap. Their everything was crap. They made the players pay for stuff like off the field. That's what the Buffalo Sabres are. You know what the difference between the Sabres are? They don't have any advantage over any team. We have the worst scouting staff. We have a small analytical department, and we have a rookie general manager year after year after year. We bring in new rookie general managers. Like, we have zero advantage over anybody, and we're spending the least. We're like, send us to a fucking AHL stadium. Like that's where Oakland's playing next year. For the next couple years, they're playing in some AAA stadium in Sacramento. Like, is that what we deserve? That's what I feel like we deserve. It's unbelievable. And one last thing, the dude, how many times do I got to see this screenshot of it's literally a Sabres Beyond Blue and Gold or whatever. Uh, this is how we win. And it's a video of the new roof and scoreboard. It's unbelievable. It's just getting shoved in my dude. This is like the biggest Terry Pegula propaganda you've ever seen. It's like 10 minutes of just straight, oh, this scoreboard came out of the owner's pocket. This new roof came out of the owner's pocket. Yeah, every board paid for by Terry. And it's like, that is legit. Those words are literally said in the video. And it's like, dude, we needed a new roof. Like, the thing was going to collapse. We needed a new scoreboard. Last time we got a new scoreboard was because it did collapse. Like, it's unbelievable. The cheapness and like, here's me spending money. I swear to God, guys, I'm spending money. And it's titled, This Is How We Win. I think that's all I got. I'm done ranting, man. It's unbelievable. I'm sweating. I'm freaking sweating over here.
So Riley, what moves do you think the Sabres should make? Like, what would you do? Trade Cousins? Trade picks? Trade
Like big moves. I already said I'd trade Yoka or cut Yoki. How you do whatever. I think I don't even know. You can't trade Cousins. I don't want to do another panic thing. Like, what I'm thinking, like, you laugh when Terry Pegula says the answer's in house. I mean, if you look at the history of the Buffalo Sabres, I think the answer has been in house. You look at Jack Eichel, Ryan O'Reilly, Sam Reinhart. These guys were all in here. The answers were all here. We just didn't appreciate them when they were here. So we're looking at Tage Thompson and Dylan Cousins and Alex Tuck. These guys could be the answer. I do believe that. Um,
I was gonna
so
say,
I
would
don't
you
want to
be,
get rid of those guys.
are you losing your mind if you see a trade like Dylan Cousins? And I think I saw this online from one of the Sabres writers, but it's like Dylan Cousins and Yoki Haru for Tommy Novak and Luke Shen.
Yeah, no, that would drive me nuts. I'd legit like stop. You know what? I always say, like, oh, I'm gonna stop watching. I never stop watching. I'm like addicted to this.
Luke
But
Shen would
I
benefit
think
Owen Power, but that would be a brutal trade.
Luke, I have no issue with Luke Shen. It's the Dylan Cousins part of a Luke Shen trade. We're talking about trading Dylan Cousins, and it's like, oh, but you get Luke Shen back. Like, what?
And my boy
What are we
Tommy
talking
Novak.
what if you got
Yeah,
what if you got what if you got
unbelievable.
Ryan O'Reilly back?
He wouldn't come
I
back.
One of
wouldn't
the
even
answers?
touch that guy.
No.
And Sabres fans
I
have like
freaking gave
exiled
away
him.
a Ryan O'Reilly jersey relic card, dude. I don't want anything to do with Ryan O'Reilly. Luke Shen would be great though, and also the Predators got a prospect named Gunnar Wolf Fontaine, and I would just love having that name in the organization. It's
Luke
just a sick
Evangelista
name.
would also be a sick
Um,
get for the Sabres if he was available.
but
But
he's just like all these
he's
guys are
another
just like,
guy.
what are we
He's
gonna
just a
do?
guy.
Trade Jacqueline for Luke
Well, that's what I'm
Evangelista,
saying.
and
Like,
then
I love Evangelista. He's great, but he's kind of in the same boat as the Jack Quinn and the Paterka, and I mean,
we have like
seven of
$7
those.
million. Let's trade a bunch of prospects and get some player. Like, I'm not saying let's trade Dylan Cousins and get um
Bro, I'm telling you, I'm back on the Joel Farabee agenda. Go get him.
I'd love Joel Farabee. I think because he fought Darlene in like one of Darlene's first couple years, and it was like this guy, I like this grinder guy, even though he's getting under Darlene's skin. Like
Yeah.
we need guys like that. Lindy Ruff talked about in the offseason, let's get under guys' skin. We need to like post whistle when you just like see a guy come in stick handling the puck, and then a guy from the other team just comes in, strips the puck off him for no reason. Nobody's doing that on this team. Nobody's getting in the goalie's face. Nobody's
Yeah.
doing any of that. And that's what Lindy talked about. I think Joel Farabee's a guy that would do that. And that I would love that kind of player.
All right. So this is your new top six of the Buffalo Sabres. How excited would you get? Joel Farabee, Tage Thompson, Alex Tuck, Elias Pettersson, JJ Peterka, and we'll throw in
Cousins on the wing.
sure.
Dude. And you know what? In a
Cousins
world
probably goes to
like
Vancouver for Pettersson, but yeah.
yeah. In an NHL GM mode style, like value, that is attainable. Like that top six is attainable to have with all the prospects we have and all the picks we have. That, like, for value purposes, I'm not saying the Canucks would get rid of Elias Pettersson for prospects and stuff, but it's like we have that much value in the organization that type of and cap space that top six is possible. Farabee could easily be dealt for prospects, in my opinion. Like you're telling me Rosine and a first isn't gonna get Farabee? Like there's
Yeah.
no way.
I was gonna say before your next gen shout, Nolan, quick question. It could be like a quick yes or no. Would you do Mitch Marner for Owen Power and Dylan Cousins?
Oh,
What is
for
that?
both of them.
One
Uh,
year left?
is that
We
is
already
that
talked. We already talked about this on Riley's side. He's shocked when I said if Marner would come with an extension, so he already knows the
with an
circumstances
extension?
on the Buffalo side. But this is on the Toronto perspective. Would you do it?
And Marner doesn't want to extend it in Toronto.
No.
He sign and trade.
It's not that he doesn't want to. It's that the Leafs are not going to give him 14 million, but the Sabres will.
Well, Power and Cousins make a combined 15, don't they?
With Power's new
Something like
extension,
that.
something like that.
Yeah,
8 and 7.
probably losing. Uh, that's a tough one. That's a good one. New second line center when Tavares goes away. No,
I
I'm
would
gonna
do
say
it.
no.
I would do it in a heartbeat, but you're saying no.
I'll say no.
If I was a Leafs fan, I'm doing that in a heartbeat too. Are you kidding
All
me?
right, Riley, next gen. Give us a 1 minute advertising
Okay.
on what's going on.
If you guys want some Brantford Bulldogs tickets, we're doing a giveaway on nextgen_CAN on Instagram. So it's not many people have done the survey yet. So it's very good odds to win a pair of Bulldogs tickets. And yeah, so that's on Instagram. If you go to the link in the bio, there's a survey there. Fill it out. And yeah, also if you wanted to drop a follow on it too to enter the giveaway. And I'm gonna be streaming every now and then. I just got a new camera, so I'm going to be doing some streams talking hockey and on the Next Gen Canada YouTube and Twitch. So, yeah.